decided I'd change this classroom because we were sitting in rows, and I don't like that. This class is about, I want to hear your views about something that's very important to me, and I hope is important to you. And it's about human rights. And I want to have a little talk with you about that, and I've also got some films to show you and things like that. But first of all, I suppose we should say something about who I am. Now, you all know each other, so you've got the advantage on me, because I don't know you, and you've been with each other, I think, for 2 weeks now. Yeah. So I'm Cherie Booth QC, that's my official name, but I have another name. I don't know if any of you got two names. My name as a barrister, because that's what I am, I'm a lawyer, is Cherie Booth QC. That's because I was born Cherie Booth. But before we start, let's talk about some things basically. We have to have some rules. Right, now I know you have some rules in this school. We might actually talk about what you think about those rules. But I do have some rules in my classroom. Which are, firstly, that we don't all talk at once.
I agree.
That's good. The second rule is that we respect each other and listen to each other's views. If we disagree with each other's views, we can answer, but not at the same time. So I think that's quite important too. Okay, so I'm a lawyer. Most of you know what lawyers do, I presume, do you?
They argue.
They argue, absolutely. Absolutely, that's one of the things I learned. But one of the things I learned about arguing is you can't do arguing without also listening. Because unless you hear what the other person who disagrees with you says, you can't actually think of the right words to answer them back. So part of this lesson isn't just about speaking, it's about listening. And in order to listen, of course, we have to concentrate. Okay, so I said I'm a lawyer and I work in human rights. So I want to know, what do you think? And I'm married to Tony Blair, that's true.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
You know, after when someone stops being Prime Minister,
Yeah.
do you go broke or do you still have money?
No, you have to carry on working. So
Oh,
fortunately for my husband, I was working as a lawyer all the time. He was Prime Minister, and therefore we've got savings and I've still got a job.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you what you think human rights mean. Okay?
Humans have rights.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what does that mean? What are rights?
Everyone gets the same opportunity as everybody else.
Right. What do you think it means, Connor?
It just means that everyone's treated equally, and it's not just right. Everyone gets the same, basically. It don't matter what it is, but everyone gets the same. It don't matter if you're white, black, Indian, Chinese.
No, that's not true though, because that doesn't work.
I know it doesn't work, but that's what she's trying to put forward.
That's not what happens.
So
then
did you say it was what
then
happens,
it's not
didn't it?
human rights, because that's not how it happens.
No, well,
I put my hand up, I went to make my point, and then you
Okay.
started talking. Very rude,
Chloe?
okay?
That's not how it happened though, obviously. That's not human rights.
Chloe,
That's not how it works.
let's explore that for a minute.
I'm just saying
No,
what I
but I'm
think
just
human rights
telling you.
mean.
No, but I'm
Okay.
just telling you that's not obviously
Okay.
it's not true.
Oh my
Okay.
So
God.
they can't mean it.
Okay, I'm going to separate you two. Connor?
No, it's all right. No, I haven't got no idea. That's just being sexist.
No, I'm going to separate her as well. You come. I want you to. Wait a minute. No, we're going to. Connor, come and stand over there, because Connor's got a point of view. Okay, and then you've got an opposite point of view.
Well, I totally agree.
So I want you to put your point of view sitting here, and then Chloe's going to come over, and she's going to give her point of
Can't she say
view.
her point of view first from there? Go on.
No, I wanted you to go first, and I chose you.
Put your hand up.
Okay,
It's only fair.
Chloe, you shut up. You're having your turn next. Okay, Connor.
Oh, it's okay.
What I was trying to say was I think, I won't disagree with her. I agree that human rights don't work, but I'm just saying this is what you're trying. You said to us what's human rights, and I told you what I think human rights is.
Exactly.
She went to a different conversation and started a whole new thing over there.
So Connor, so you were telling me what the ideal is.
Yeah.
And the ideal is.
Because there's no such thing as human
But let's talk about what the ideal is
upper
first.
class and lower class, and then whenever there's upper class and lower class, it's never going to be human rights.
Okay, so human rights, from your point of view, what you said to us, though, is they come from because you're a human being.
Yeah.
And therefore it doesn't matter, as you say, whether you're upper or lower class, or it shouldn't matter.
No.
Now, Chloe, you come, because you were going to...
She's just going to agree with me what I said.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Do you need your bag for something? What do you need your bag
really
for?
need it?
All right, you can leave your bag. No, wait, but. Come here. Come and sit down. As we're talking about rules. No, come and sit down.
What, so one person... Oh.
No. If you want to leave the
Human
class,
rights, babe.
you can ask, and you asked, which was fantastic. But if you do want to leave, then you must go up to the top and all the way around. Okay?
Oh my
Why?
It's just perfection.
Okay, Chloe, come on. You were going to say something about what you... Well, it doesn't... Let's talk about it a little bit more. Go and sit on the chair. Go and sit on the chair. So we're talking about human rights and how, because you're human, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or have...
That's not true,
So if it's not true, which I think we can all accept it isn't true because some people are better off than others, is it, therefore, does it mean that the ideal of human rights is wrong and we should change the ideal?
It applies to everyone, but everyone don't get the same opportunity as everybody else.
Right. So if it needs to apply to everybody, how do we try and make sure that it does apply to anybody? Let me suggest that the way we do that is that because we have rules.
Yeah. And we all need to know our rights to be able to...
Okay, Chloe, you go and sit down.
I just can't do that.
So let me talk about what human rights mean to you. I mean, do you think you have rights?
Obviously.
Everybody has
Got to
rights.
find this.
So what sort of rights do you have? Yeah? A right to be respected. And does that apply to the teacher as well as the pupils?
Everyone.
Yeah. Okay, now wait a minute. Does anyone disagree
Disagree that one.
that we have a right to be respected?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
No. And does anyone disagree that the teacher should have a right to be respected as well as the pupils?
No, but
Everyone.
I don't
has a right to
disagree.
be disrespected.
No,
They
it don't
do
matter.
something to get disrespected.
I think, right, you see when you're in school, yeah, the teachers automatically expect you to respect them without them respecting you. So I think that we should respect you, but you should respect us
Yeah.
as
That's
well.
what we're talking about, everyone being respected.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like...
We've got respect as one general principle. Is there any other
Right for
general
opinion.
a right for opinion? You're absolutely right. And one of those rights of opinion is actually in the Universal Declaration, and that's the right for free speech.
That's what I just say. Freedom of speech.
That's the
Very good.
Well, the
two-
That's the same thing.
No, it is not. Freedom of speech and opinions, two different things.
Yeah, but what is freedom of speech? Your freedom of
Freedom of
speech
speech
is
to
your
say what no.
what you're thinking.
But freedom
which
of
is your
speech,
opinion.
no, because freedom of
I mean,
speech says you can say
if you wanna
anything.
go for debate, I'll
Okay,
take you.
I say
guys.
it yourself.
I'm a
We don't want to
birth
have
certificate.
we don't want to
So
have a
what?
little conversation on our own. So let me tell you that when the Universal Rights Declaration is there, opinion and speech go into the same pile. Okay? Now you're right that opinion and speech are different, but they go into the same general area. What other sort of rights might we want?
What other rights?
Yeah.
Gay rights.
Gay rights? Now that's right. One of those things is to be respected for what you are, and one of the rights is the right not to discriminate against people because of what they are, whether it's about their sexual orientation or their colour. But another right, of course, you have is the right to education.
Yeah.
And of course, that's partly what we're having here in this classroom, is education. It's supposed to be one of the ideas. And one of the things about that is that sometimes people stop getting an education for various reasons. And my understanding about why all of you are here is that all of you in different ways had a disruption in your education. And so to that extent, your right to education was obstructed. Now, one of the ways I was wondering about, when I was thinking of you, about how I would talk to you about rights and why rights have meaning for you, is I wondered whether any of you had experienced bullying. No. No? Yeah?
I've seen people being bullied.
Yeah?
I think everyone's experienced bullying. So don't deny everyone. Everyone has.
Yeah.
Someone's always said something bad to you, innit?
Yeah.
Someone's always made you feel bad. It is bullying.
Well,
We need to really clarify what bullying is.
Yeah.
Because If I say something to you, hello.
Yeah.
If I say something to you, yeah, that's rude.
Listen to Jordan a minute because he has a point. But before you make the point, because I think you'll see this, what I thought I would do, Harlem, we'll talk about this, but before we do, I thought I'd show you a little film about bullying because I thought you'd probably be sick hearing me talking to you. And it talks a little bit about what bullying is. And then perhaps we can talk about that. Now, I wanted...
Say what it is first, and then we can just compare it with the notes that they've done.
Well, all right, Jordan, let me say what I took from you. You raised a point, is that one person, bullying, one person's disagreement or one person's expressing views can be another person's bullying. So there's a line to be drawn. And one of the things that illustrates, which is about human rights in general, is that there is a line to be drawn, and the question is, where do we draw the line? And one of the places we draw the line is what all human rights are about. Okay, guys, let's look at the thing and see what these people say about bullying. Come on.
No excuse for it. I wasn't the worst or bad in a lot of...
David James has just told us he was a bully.
Bully, by definition, isn't good.
I think bullying is if you take things too far and you start making things too personal.
Pay attention to what they're saying, because we'll talk about some of these things.
This is the line. I can't cross that line.
Crossing the line.
There is a thin line between being really different on the pitch to off the pitch, and you just got to try and keep it.
His dad used to go watch him all the time, but he'd be that aggressive type of dad that's shouting all the time. And I think my mate's confidence started to go downhill from that. So you think, I don't want to get on the ball in case I lose it. My dad would be shouting. I think that does happen.
It's not nice, as I say, having done it myself. I did it because I got bullied myself, so it just ends up being someone else's problem. So if you can tell people and help them, then that's the best way forward.
Okay. So what did you think? What did you think about that, Jordell?
Yeah, because what it is, it's like me saying something to you.
Yeah.
It's not always classed as bullying, it's just me getting my opinion across to you, which is a human right, me expressing how I feel. But then there's using it excessively, consistently doing it to someone is the border, do you know what I mean?
But how do we distinguish between what is me just expressing the views that I feel very strongly
When it gets personal.
When it gets personal.
But he said, it's true about voicing opinion, but it's not just so much voicing opinion, it might be how you say it. Because if you say to someone, I think you're a bit overweight, then it don't really sound like you're bullying. But if you say, I think you're a fat bastard, then it's just ways of saying things as well. It's not just about voicing your opinion, it's not just about this.
Okay,
it's
so
the way you say things.
Let's think about what we said here. It's not just what you say, it's the way you say it. Sometimes bullying can be physical, and sometimes it can be verbal. I wanted to show you another film.
I think about Jimmy every minute of every day.
Jimmy would believe put his hands down to protect himself. Jake has then picked up a glass oven-proof dish full of sausages just behind the counter and thrown it at Jimmy. Thrown it so hard it shattered on Jimmy's chin. A piece of the glass went to Jimmy's neck. Partly severed his jugular vein, completely severed his carotid artery, and embedded itself in his spine. It was thrown with that much force. Jake wanted to hurt Jimmy as much as he possibly could. Jimmy was inside, so frightened, keeping himself shut and thinking his perpetrator would come back for him. Totally unaware of the injury he'd received. The brother then managed to get the door open, was confronted with a very frightened-looking Jimmy, who recognised his brother, and a sense of relief came over him, collapsed into the brother's arms and died. This all took place about 3.5 minutes. But everything changes within that space. When someone rips out the heart of a family like that, in those 3 minutes, your life changes completely.
The story there, okay, is that what happened is that Jimmy was in a bakery shop. Somebody tried to bump into him. He said, don't do that. They didn't like being told off, and they reacted completely out of proportion. What happened was the case went to court. Yeah, I know. And in the court case, that was the story that the jury believed what happened. But the boy, when he gave his story, he tried to claim that he had been disrespected and intimidated by Jimmy, and that he acted in self-respect. The point about what happened in this case, and what happens in all cases in our country, is that because we have another right, which is the right to a fair trial, which is another one of the human rights we have, everyone has the right to put their side of the case. So what happened in this case was that the story that we've heard there and the story of the person who did that was put before a jury of 12 people, not many, just a few of them, the people in this room. And in the end, the jury decided that, in fact, they believed the story that we've heard rather than the other. So what we're actually talking about is a line, and it's about crossing the line. So one of the lines we have is that if you're attacked, you're entitled to defend yourself. But the line is you can't go beyond what is necessary to defend yourself and go further than that. Wait.
A man tried to like rape me or something. If I was to like proper like do damage because I was so scared and I was to like kill him accidentally, not meaning to kill him, what would happen?
Well, then the question is whether you had acted in self-defense. Now the question is who judges whether you're going, the jury. So what do you know about what happens in a criminal trial? Have any of you, wait, let me ask you something. Have any of you ever been to a criminal trial? One, two, tell me about why did you go to court?
It was for carrying an offensive weapon. It was a baseball bat about that big.
You got taken to court for a baseball bat?
Just one of them.
For a baseball bat?
Well, that can be an offensive weapon.
I told the police I'm going to play cricket.
But then also get on the floor.
If you're carrying a baseball bat and you want to go cricket. If you're carrying a baseball bat around with you, all you want to do is be smart.
No, I'm not going to. When he comes back, he's going to.
Because like the thing is, that the police officer who actually pulled it out of, like, just blown it way out of proportion, because he said I was chasing 3 black youths with a baseball bat, I took it off of 2 little youths, because I do anti-knife and gun stuff, and then I got found out in court, because they looked at the CCTV. The chief inspector said there was no CCTV. I went to Sainsbury's and went and got the CCTV, so then he lost his job, and also I gave him the CCTV, when I was in handcuffs.
And you were acquitted?
I was in handcuffs, and he was slamming my head off the floor. I was in handcuffs.
Okay, so let's hold that a minute because someone else. Was it Emmy?
Yeah.
Emmy went to court.
No, I wasn't.
No, you probably went to. Did you go and observe a court case?
I was a.
Were you a defendant?
Jury.
I was backing up. I was trying to get
them
them put down, not put down like dead, but I mean like. Yeah, is that it? A witness?
You were a witness.
I think so.
Interesting, because what I'd like to talk a bit about is what it's like to be in court, to be a defendant, or to be a witness.
They're horrible.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit. Let's talk a little bit about this issue of self-defense first of all. Okay. Now, what was very interesting about your story is that because of the trial, you were acquitted, I assume. Yeah. And that was because you had the right, as a defendant, to put your side of the story. And interestingly, it was the CCTV that's, in a sense, saved you because everyone could see it. And I've been a judge in court, and sometimes, people say things on the CCTV, and you see it on the CCTV, and you can see whether it's true or not. Okay. Just can we stop a minute because Nana's come back.
My name's Nana.
I'm going to call you Banana in a minute. Nana, what did I say?
I'll call you something that's not very nice if you call me that.
Nana, what did I say at the beginning of the lesson? That if you wanted to leave, what were you supposed to do?
Had a phone call, some important phone call, I had to take it.
No, but you're supposed to ask to leave and you're supposed to go around the way. Now, why did you not do that?
What is the point of walking around the way?
So everybody can see.
So that I don't want people just walking out on a whim as Nana Kwame walked out on a whim. I want you to actually take a conscious decision that this is important enough to disrupt the class.
It was an important phone call, like I just told you, I had to go outside to take it, so that's what I did.
But you didn't go in the way that we'd agreed the rules.
So, but the phone call had cut off. I took too long to answer this. I had to go outside to answer it straight. And that was the quickest route than going all the way around. So I went out that way.
So that is more important than observing the rules that everyone else observes. Right. So he made a choice.
Yeah. And I agree with my trade.
You agree, right. Now what about everyone else? Does everyone else think that it's right?
No. Because that's everyone should be treated the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is being treated the same.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
My
So
right, sir, if you had a very important phone call and you need to go out the cricket,
Okay.
I'm not chatting to you, I'm chatting to you.
Okay.
I'm saying, Jamal, if you had a very important phone call, you had to get out the quickest way possible, would you not go out the quickest way?
I'll answer it and be like, can I take this call, please?
So what, you would answer in the class, which is more disrespectful?
Yeah, I'll still answer
Okay,
it, but not
then.
talk into the phone until she tells me to.
Okay, so Dana's Kwame's defence is this was so important I had to break the rules. Now, Jamal thinks that that's not a good enough excuse.
I'll tell you straight, I don't care what other people think, that's my opinion.
Well, I just want to ask what the generality of the class think.
The majority think it's wrong, the individual thinks it's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I still agree with that.
So what do we do then if the majority think it's right and the individual thinks it's wrong?
I don't mind.
Feeding into the, I think feeding into the fish would be what we call in law disproportionate. So do you think we should ask him to leave then?
Yeah.
No, man.
Nah.
Well, let Chow.
You should just discipline him by telling him what he's done wrong and say next time don't do it. Yeah, but first warning.
So your idea is that we should give a warning. Now
I say we feed him to the pigs or the lions.
Okay.
We haven't got lions.
So we need some lions.
Okay, well, in the end, I suppose since I'm the teacher or the judge, I'm going to decide what I think is the right thing to do.
You agree with me, didn't you?
And I think that because what we're talking about, when we're talking about rights and responsibilities, we're talking about balancing things. And so I gave him a fair trial because I asked him to tell me what he thought, why he did it. And then I asked someone else, in this case Jamal, to say why he thought that was wrong. We then had a discussion about it, and we've concluded that we think he was wrong. So that's the first thing that we've done. We've had a little bit of a mini trial here.
You're going to kick me out because you say you're going to kick me out, kick me in. I don't care about the long
I'm going to tell you why, because one of my
why. Just make up your mind. If you want me to go, just say it now and I'll leave.
No.
If you don't, innit, I don't care about a point, truth be told.
Now,
I go, do you want me to leave, yes or no? End it, just
I'm
say.
going to explain.
Yeah, no, I don't care about explaining. Do you want me to leave, yes or no?
No.
Then
You will
end it
wait
like that, then.
and listen. Because the other thing...
She wants to kick me out, let her kick me out.
The other thing...
Allow
Do you
yourself
want to
to
go out?
chat to me like being your friend.
I want to talk about another important principle in human rights, which is proportionality. That the punishment has to fit the crime, okay? Connor, tell me again what you said.
You should get a warning.
Because Connor thought that the punishment of throwing him out didn't fit the crime. And actually, I agree with Connor. I think for a first offence, it didn't fit the crime. But for a second offence, it would. However, he didn't give me a chance to do that, so he's left anyway. Okay. When somebody hits you, it may be fine to hit them back. It isn't fine to shoot them with a gun. That's proportionality. When somebody does something wrong, it may not be right. It may be right to punish them, but it doesn't mean that the punishment has to fit the crime. So that's again proportionality. And one of the key concepts of human rights is proportionality. That one has to. That everything isn't actually black or white, or even right or wrong, and you have to make a balance and be proportionate.